is telling that, perhaps we should learn from each other in how to govern this new thing called digital revolution, digital economy, industrial revolution 4.0, and all the challenges that comes together with it. And because of that, countries enter into free trade agreements. And because of that, this is a right sector for developed countries to come and compel us to adopt certain international standards. Because without those external pressures, national countries like Malaysia and Indonesia are very slow in developing their own domestic rules to deal with digital economy. Now, if you look at around the world, WTO, World Trade Organization, is one of the front runner in regulating global trade. But the World Trade Organization is very slow in coming out with international norms on e-commerce. And as a result, countries like the United States and EU is now going into country by country, either by way of bilateral agreement, free trade agreement, regional agreement, economic partnership agreement, and name it. It can come in all kinds of agreement where they actually come and force and compel national countries to adopt certain standards to regulate e-commerce. Because whether we like it or not, the world is moving towards digital commerce and not just import and export of physical goods. And with that, I just want to spend a few minutes on looking at Indonesia. I thought that Malaysia is really crazy in signing free trade agreements, but I know that Indonesia has recently signed an agreement with Australia, and you're going to come up with an agreement with the European Union. So Malaysia and Indonesia is also racing towards who signed the most treaty. So that adds to our pertelingkahan. Okay? So I just want to spend a few moments on proposed EU-Indonesia FTA because it has a component on e-commerce. Regional Cooperation Economic Partnership Agreement, or RCEP, that is still being negotiated. And if we have the time, then we can have a look at the Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement that has now been renegotiated and renewed as Comprehensive Progressive Trans-Pacific Partnership Agreement, which although Indonesia is not a member, but Indonesia was at one point of time interested to join CPTPP together with your other ASEAN members like Malaysia and Brunei and Vietnam. Now, if you look at key statistics, next please. Indonesia is ripe for e-commerce because of a huge population, right? And it is the next wave, in terms of e-commerce. As simple as, let's look at who are the players in e-commerce. Okay, if you look at the players, next please, and next, Digital Indonesia, the key figures, in terms of your population, you have around 265 million, and half of it are internet users, and almost half of it is actually social media users. And these are the things that I get from your own website, the number of monthly traffic that goes on in e-commerce, and what are the top e-commerce websites. Now, which means that Indonesia is prime land for e-commerce. And in that instance, Indonesia should start planning ahead and try to figure out how to regulate e-commerce. Our rector, during our discussion in the room this morning, mentioned that this is where law lags behind technology. In many areas, law lags behind technology, and cyber law is one of it, right? It's like trying to play catch up with technology. You're always catching up with technology. But Indonesia is not alone. In Malaysia as well, there are many issues or aspects on e-commerce which have yet been regulated. And as a result, countries like EU and US are now forcing us to sign free trade agreements, regional trade agreements, economic partnership agreements to regulate, to govern certain aspects of e-commerce. Now, if you backtrack 2 slides, Now, the Pareto started with Industrial Revolution 4.0. Some countries have come up with national reports on how to embrace this digital economy. One of the reports is Australian report, where the Australian government has defined digital economy as the global network of economic and social activities that are enabled by information and communications technologies, such as the internet, mobile, and sensor networks. And this includes conducting telecommunications, financial transactions, education, entertainment and business using computers, phones, and other devices. Almost all applications, transactions, business process, government activities, they are all boiled down to the usage of information and communication technology. Whether we like it or not, we are in this era now. Next, please. Which leads to a number of regulatory changes, and these are some of the examples: fintech, cryptocurrency, blockchain technology, as well as artificial intelligence, which have been mentioned in Pak Rektor's message this morning. And these are some of the issues that confront us, and we have yet to come up with the proper legal resolution, proper regulatory framework for all these new advances in technologies. Now, next please, and next please. I've shown you the key figures in terms of Indonesia's e-commerce, and we've got right up in newspapers already. It says that Indonesia will be Asia's next biggest e-commerce market because of its huge population. It will be even bigger than Malaysia. E-commerce is going to explode in Indonesia, definitely. And the fact that your country is very dispersed, which means that a lot of people will depend on e-commerce for transactions. Next, please. Now, I did mention that the WTO, the World Trade Organization, is the front runner or front organization in regulating trade around the world, global trade, in terms of export and import and tariffs that are set by different countries.